Hello, you're watching Top Story. Welcome to the program. Today, the long-running drama of the US Democratic Party primary elections. And the signs are, it isn't over yet. Triumphs for Hillary Clinton in Indiana and Barack Obama in North Carolina have left both claiming victory, and the party with a prospect of more bloodletting to come. Defeat for Clinton in Indiana would almost certainly have spelt the end of her campaign. But once again, Obama has failed to close her out. He's won more of the popular vote, more states, secured more delegates and raised more cash. But Clinton's remarkable tenacity has sowed seeds of doubt in the minds of the super-delegates, the top party officials and politicians whose votes will now almost certainly decide the outcome. Is it possible that they will ignore the arithmetic and opt for the woman praised by one prominent trade union leader for her testicular fortitude? Or has Barack Obama now done too much for the superdelegates to ignore? Well, joining me now to answer those and other questions is Zachary Miller of Democrats Abroad in France. Thanks very much for being on Top Story. Hillary Clinton now saying it's full steam ahead for the White House. She's got to be dreaming, surely.
I think, some of her speech last night was a little delusional. I'm certain that she's going to continue on to June 3rd, but she's behind in every category, and there's no real hope of her gaining because the way the delegates are given to each candidate is on a percentage basis. And so for this contest last night, we will have basically a split, pretty much even split for Indiana. And because Senator Obama won North Carolina by 15 points, he'll get a huge amount more delegates for that.
Yeah, but neither candidate can win just on the delegate count. Now, it does really look as though it's going to be down to the superdelegates, doesn't it? It will be very hard for them to ignore the arithmetic.
Yeah, it will. I mean, the arithmetic is there for the Obama campaign. We are going to, at the end of this, even on the best projections of Hillary winning, say, the last 6 contests, we'd still be ahead by over 100 points, over 100 delegates. And so for the superdelegates to go against the fact that he's ahead in pledged delegates, the fact that he's won more states, the fact that he's ahead in the popular vote, that would be really hazardous for the Democratic Party.
Now, if Hillary Clinton really was going to turn the tide, she had to win in both states, didn't she? I mean, having failed to do that, is there any sense at all even in her carrying on? Should she withdraw now?
Well, a lot of people felt she should have withdrawn much earlier. The math was already there for Senator Obama. But I think most in the party right now, the leadership, they're pretty content with her continuing until June 3rd. But at that point, Howard Dean and Nancy Pelosi, everyone has said they want the superdelegates to make up their mind and vote after June 3rd so we can have a closure to this so we won't go to the convention being divided.
A huge relief, though, here for Barack Obama to have won so convincingly in North Carolina. He's been on the ropes a little bit. So will this give him the pickup now, do you think, to carry on through? Yeah,
I think, these last 6 weeks have been probably the worst in the campaign for him as far as, attacks. And it was part of the strategy to basically what they call the kitchen sink strategy, throw everything at him, including the kitchen sink. And it didn't work. It hurt him, certainly, and negative ads sometimes do work, but it didn't stop the momentum that he had already gathered.
You say that the party will be happy if Hillary Clinton, or not too bothered if Hillary Clinton stays on to the very end. But from the point of view of the Republican Party, it's a bit of a gift, isn't it, if the two candidates are seen snapping at each other's heels right to the convention?
Oh yeah, absolutely. These last few months for McCain has been a gift. He's learned what to attack Obama with. He's had time to rest. Build up his fundraising, finances, and everything. And so it's been, a great season for him. But I think, basically the party leadership has just resolved itself that Hillary Clinton is going to go to June 3rd, and that's what's going to happen.
Whether they like it or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
But some pressure will surely be put on Hillary Clinton now to consider the option of withdrawing, surely.
Yeah, I think there are individual Democrats that have already started doing that. It may intensify more now because of this tremendous win in North Carolina. And, the prospects for the next 6 states don't hold out any real hope for Hillary Clinton. So yeah, she'll get more of that.
You say tremendous win, 15 points, or almost 15 points, but at one stage it looked like he might win by 25, so that lead was cut back. And the question, I suppose, will remain about the demographics of this. And I don't know what the demographics were in North Carolina, but the question mark over Barack Obama is whether he can win over the white working class. Do you think he's answering that question?
Yeah, and I think in all the states that, Obama has competed with Hillary, he's usually won the white male vote. Just in these states that she's won, actually, has she won a certain percentage of the white male vote, which is a blue-collar worker. Now, in all the other states that he's won the white male vote over Hillary Clinton, and the only thing she's won is the over 65 vote. That's been her main consistent demographic, is over 65.
Now, one of the big concerns in the Democratic Party has been the Jeremiah Wright effect. Mm-hmm. Does this suggest to you, this victory in North Carolina and the marginal defeat in Indiana, suggest that he may have overcome that now, he may have put it behind him, or do you think it could still drag on?
I think they've, beat that horse as much as they can beat it. I think there was a lot of media attention to it. Almost, one commentator said it's Reverend Wright 24 hours a day, for a lot of the media. And I think that's pretty much over now. Whether McCain will bring it up again or not in November is, who knows. But I think they've done all that they can do with that.
So you sound pretty sure as if it's going to be a Barack Obama, John McCain presidential race?
Yeah, I am. And I've been sure about this for a while because unless there's some huge scandal, there's no rationale for the superdelegates to take the vote, to take the nomination away from Barack Obama when he's ahead and will still be ahead in pledged delegates, in popular vote, and all the other areas that we look for at the end of the contest.
Well, if you were in the Republican camp, though, now, and you were looking at how this race is working out, what would be the weaknesses you would be focusing on in the Obama campaign? For McCain, he's probably going to go after same techniques that Hillary Clinton has used. He's going to try and separate Obama from the mainstream, saying he's radical, saying he's, I think a lot of that same technique will be used. And at that point, I'm afraid we're going to have to stop. Thanks very much for being with us today. Zachary Miller, join us again tomorrow for another edition of Top Story. Goodbye.
The program dedicated to international news was brought to you by Le Monde.
This week on The Talk of Paris, Ulysse Gossay's guest is Henri Guénaud, Special Advisor to French President Nicolas Sarkozy. A year after his election, what is France's role in the world, particularly in Africa and Europe? What form should the Union for the Mediterranean take? Let's ask the man who writes the speeches for the president. Friday, May 9th, 7:10 p.m. Paris time on France 24.